So in this video, I'm here with the Sony A7 III with you, precisely to test the ISO of this camera here. I have my setup more or less here, reasonably well lit. We will do two tests, first with a reasonably okay light. As you can see there, I have my octabox on with an LED light right on it, and then we will do the same little test but without that little monster on, just so we can see what the difference will be between having a light and not having any light on to test this together. Well, if you don't know me yet, welcome to my channel. I am HDRE, and if you like photography content, follow me here so you don't miss any new content. Well, let's start here. I'm going to start with a reasonably high ISO already. I don't want to start that low, so I'm going to start with ISO 1000, okay? Let's basically start with ISO 1000. I think I'm in the wrong mode on the camera here. Let me adjust it quickly. I'll set it here. I'll leave my lens aperture at 1.8, as you can see. I'll keep my shutter speed alternating, right? To compensate for the exposure, right? And make everything correct. But for now, I'll leave it here. My ISO, I'll leave it at the start here. Let's start with ISO 400 and go up. First little photo, we already have a reasonably good ISO here. Nice, a good background blur, right? Remembering that I'm using an 85mm lens. Now let's go up to ISO 1000. Let's go up a little more. Come on, go up to 1600. Usually 1600 was about the ISO limit I could use on my first camera. And here we can see that we have good quality from this. Like, it's a really beautiful ISO. By the way, this blur is very interesting. Oh my. Well, let's go up a little more. 2500. Let's see how this turns out. And now I have this configuration that you see on the screen. Basically, we can still have very good quality. I won't lie to you, it's really quite surprising. Of course, when zooming in a lot, we can already notice the appearance of some noise, but only with this hyper mega zoom. Let's raise our ISO to 4000. Let's see how this camera will perform with 4000 ISO, remembering that I've used this camera several times now with 4000 ISO, and it performed very well. As you can see, the image remains clean. Basically, you really can't feel much of a difference. 6400 ISO. Now the speed is 1/320, and let's see here. Basically, we can still maintain very good quality. Really, like in general, you don't even notice if there's noise or not. You don't notice anything at all. Let's go up to 10,000 now. 1/500th of a second for speed to compensate a little. And here is our photo. Remember, right, since I have a light on and everything, we're doing this first test. Of course, the quality will be good. Now at 10,000, I can notice a bit more noise on this side here. I want to go up to 16,000, which I think still maintains a bit of dignity. Like, it's the same as 10,000. You can see there's a bit more here, but still a very good ISO. I'll leave it here until I'll use this ISO to the maximum, which is really like I'm at ISO 20,000 now. Now that I started noticing noise, like with a bit of zoom, right? So really the quality of this ISO is very good. Let's leave it at 32,000 ISO. Let's see how the quality turns out, which is really surprising. Remember, all right, as you can see, there's plenty of light. The light is good. Look, zooming in, we can already notice an ISO, a noise, right, in our ISO. But without the zoom, like on the camera screen, at least I don't notice anything. This is crazy stuff. Let's go up to 40,000 ISO, which I think I never thought of using in my life. Here I'm already going overboard, but still, you can see there is noise, yes, but it's not like, oh, it ruined the image or anything like that. So I really think it's an interesting ISO. Let's set it to 100, 2400, just to get a little sense of quality. Look, here we can already notice that it loses a lot of quality. I'm not going to lie to you. Here it really becomes quite clear, the noise and everything. So let's do this test now. turning off our main light, having only those background lights which don't interfere at all. Well, as you can see, now we are in total darkness. Let's go back to our very low ISO. I will start with a slightly higher ISO. I'll go straight to 2000 because otherwise we really won't be able to see anything. Like here it's already hard to see. So let's start with ISO 2000 now. ISO 2000 here now for you. Let's see. Okay, ISO 2000, all good, nice and easy. We have a lot of quality, remember, right? As we are basically against the light here, it's even a bit difficult for us to see. But let's go ISO 4000 now to have a baseline here and see how it looks. Really, the quality, even with very low light here in front of us, right? Of course, there's a lot of light in the background, but the front part ends up mattering. We don't have significant losses, so to speak. 6400 still has good quality, like we don't notice much. Let's go up to 10,000 at once. Let's see how it will look here. My speed is at 1/100 now. Now the speed is starting to get good, right? Here, like with a lot of zoom, I notice a little bit of noise, but without the zoom, without the little crop, we don't notice anything. Let's go up to 16,000, increase my speed a little more. And take the photos. Let's go. Look, look here, I can see very little noise, but again, I only notice it by doing this gigantic zoom here. This is a very crazy thing. Let's go up to 20,000 ISO. Let's see, and here too, like, the quality still manages to stay interesting, as you can see. Of course, if you zoom in a little here, one thing or another, you notice like a little speck there, one thing or another, but it's nothing like, wow, it's going to lose quality or things like that. So let's go to 32,000. Let's see. Here I think it will lose quality. Yeah. As you can see, it's not that it lost quality, it hasn't lost it yet, but we can already see the ISO much more apparent. Like we can already notice this, especially with a little bit of zoom, we can already perceive it. Let's go up to 40,000 now. With lighting, that's somewhat okay, in quotes, and we do notice the ISO a little more. Again, when zooming in, we notice it. With the photo enlarged normally, we don't notice it, okay? That's what's really interesting here. I'm going to take a photo at 64,000 just to see how this turns out. 64,000 ISO. Here to here, I already notice much more color that didn't exist in the other photos. Of course, it must also be because of the backlight there, right? But it's interesting to see this. Now let's go to the maximum here, 102,000. And 400, which you know, is already an ISO that I personally wouldn't use, because you can see that compared to ISO 32,000, it's really quite ugly, really ugly indeed. So it's really an ISO that I highly doubt we will use at any point. And here we have 200, 4,800. Let's see how it looks, just to see. Yeah. Already, there isn't much you can use, but it's interesting to see. I'll admit that I found the ISO like up to 20,000 usable. 32,000 you can tree, but 20,000 for sure. You can use the ISO of this little camera here. Really, a surprising ISO quality. I didn't expect to have all this quality, especially from a camera that's relatively old like this one. Now take the opportunity to tell me what you thought of the ISO quality of the Sony A7 III, even today, in 2025. I will admit that it surprised me a lot. And if you want to see more content with this camera, take the opportunity to comment here and tell me what you thought and what maximum ISO you would use with it. And well, if you made it this far and liked this video, take the opportunity to leave your like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and see you in the next video. Bye.